I think before that we can request Mr. Sanjay Nirbam to make his comments first, maybe for.
Yes, I will be very happy to make my opening remarks.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Can I start now?
Yes, sir. Please.
First of all, my vanakkam to all Dravidian friends, particularly Mr. Raja. To Mr. Raja, I'm very happy that I'm very grateful that you all have invited me to this Zoom talk. See, the fundamental point is there was a telecom policy which was formulated in 1994. It was basically for the fixed telephone services, because at that time there was no mobile services in India. In 1999, a new telecom policy was formulated when Mr. Vajpayee was the Prime Minister of our country. That means the BJP was heading the central government. The thrust of that policy was that spectrum should not be traded. The government should not be in the business of trading of spectrums. Spectrum should be provided at the lowest price to the service providers or the mobile operators. Why? Behind that, there was the philosophy or the policy framework or a concept of the government that we have to provide mobile services to each and every person in India. We have to increase our teledensity tremendously, and that was the perfect concept. That was the perfect policy making of that government. And that is why what happened almost 10-15 years back in our country, the teledensity was somewhere between 20 to 30%. By the time our government was basically the went away, or the Modi came, at that time teledensity increased by almost 60%. And today, by July 2021, the generally overall teledensity in our country is 88.51%. Out of that, the rural teledensity is 141.62%. That means everybody has got mobile service. Everybody has got the access to the cellular service. That was the fundamental concept. That was the fundamental driving intention of that policy. And that is how our government, under the leadership of Telecom Minister Mr. A. Raja, was going ahead as far as the spectrum allocation is concerned. Spectrum allocation policy was part of 99 new telecom policy. What Mr. Vinod Rai did? Mr. Vinod Rai actually went beyond his brief. His job is to audit the expenditure of the government departments. His job is not to presume the losses and the profits on the basis of presumptive policy issues. He is not to audit the policy of the government. What he did, he tried to audit the policy of the government, and that is why he was into a process of challenging the existing policy, and that went basically against the whole thing. Vinod Rai played in the hand of opposition leader. I am blaming it. Vinod Rai, as a CAG, which is a constitutional body in our country, he did a misconduct as the IS officer, as the constitutional body did. So Mr. Vinod Rai presented a very false report, a very rigged report, a report which is basically untrue, and you can say it was a forged report. And for that purpose, for that crime, for that offense, what I would like to submit before this committee or before this panel, that Mr. Vinod Rai he should not be left scot-free. He is thinking that now he is retired and the government is changed and that there is a new regime in Delhi. That's why whatever he wanted to do, he did, and he can go ahead in his life. No, that's wrong. Somebody should come forward and should try to punish him, should try to should try to go to the various platforms, whether it is judicial platform or any other platform, to make him realize that he has done something wrong, something big, because a wrong thing. What I did, when he came out with his own book, in that book he mentioned that 3 Congress MPs had approached him while he was preparing that 2G. And he blamed that all 3 MPs, they approached him and requested him to remove Dr. Manmohan Singh's name, the then Prime Minister of our country, from that proposed report or the report which was being drafted by the CAG. That was completely wrong. We never approached him for anybody else, because CAG, you have rightly said, the CAG is a constitutional body, and everybody take it as a face value. If whatever CAG is saying is going to be correct, so we didn't want to interfere in the whole procedure, and that is why I made it a point that, Mr. Rai, you are speaking a very untrue thing, and you are speaking a lie, and you should withdraw your statement against me. He never listened to me, and then I went to the court, and court finally, when the hearing started, he realized that he has spoken lie about me, and he withdrew his comment and apologized to me. He tendered his apology, and I'm very happy for that. But here the case, the whole thing should not be stopped here. Mr. Vinod Rai had connived with the opposition parties, being an IS officer, being a head of the constitutional body, and for that purpose, for that reason, he must be booked. Somebody from your side, somebody from DMK side, somebody from Mr. A. Raja's family or his worker must go to the court to initiate a case against him. Because Mr. Vinod Rai, what he did, he basically destabilized a government which was elected legitimately. He destabilized a government which was run by UPA under the leadership of Congress party. Mr. Vinod Rai has defamed not only DMK, but he has defamed Congress party also. Mr. Vinod Rai's report, due to Mr. Vinod Rai's report, Mr. A. Raja and so many other politicians and the officers, they are sent to jail. And finally, Mr. O.P. Saini, who was the special court judge appointed by Supreme Court at the behest of CBI, Mr. Saini, Honorable Judge Saini, is saying that the whole charge sheet was a choreographed charge sheet. When he was delivering his final judgment, he said that for last 7 years, I'm here sitting in my courtroom. I'm asking CBI to produce some proof, some evidence against all the accused. But the prosecution failed to prove any case against the accused. That means whatever Mr. Rai said was false. That means whatever action, whatever punishment, and whatever arrest or jail, whatever punishment was given to Mr. Raja or anybody, that should be compensated. And who is going to compensate it? Without punishing Vinod Rai, it is not possible. It is not going to be compensated. So all I want to say that the case should not be stopped here. I think this is the beginning. This is the opening. We have to start. We have started from here. I would request the DMK group, the DMK party, and all of you that please don't stop here. Please just go ahead against Mr. Vinod Rai and make a strong case against him, because he has lost the case in the court of judge, in the court of O.P. Saini, Justice O.P. Saini. He has lost the case in my case. And it is now almost proved that that guy was speaking a lie sitting on the constitutional bench, sitting on the constitutional chair. And if that person can lie about me, he had lied on so many things. So the CAG report was not not very pure report. That report was full of lies, and for that purpose, Mr. Vinod Rai must be punished, and you all should be ready to fight against these guys. That's all I would like to say. I have to attend a couple of wedding ceremony today, so I will if you all allow me, then I would like to take leave in 5-10 minutes. Thank you very much for inviting me on your Zoom conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such a wonderful speech.